in such a creative atmosphere.
Hi, Scott. Look, it is. Look, the students up there, or the developing artists, they're an amazing group of people, and I think we've got about 46 students at the moment.
Going well.
And going very well, and we're preparing for our annual mid-year showing next week. We've advertised all over the Central Coast, and we've actually been able to fully book the 4 performances. So
is that in the new
it's in the new
area?
Studios
where we did an outside broadcast when it opened.
That's right,
with
for,
all of
for the building opening,
politicians and all of the great Indigenous leaders, and
that's right.
Met some wonderful people.
Yeah, so we've got this mid-year showing which we do annually. It's an annual event because it's the end of their term, and they'll be taking off home to the various places around Australia, and this is a chance for them to show off what they've learned in the last 5-6 months. So but we've also got, as you said, the main focus is dance up there, contemporary, Indigenous, traditional, all those sort of things. But we've actually got a group of students who are really passionate about music.
And you're doing things to develop that side of it too. It's a very holistic course, isn't it? Because I know a good friend of mine, a jazz composer, Dorian Mode, has been working up there, and you're really tapping into some of the great creative minds here on the coast, aren't you?
That's definitely right. And Dorian has been a fantastic influence and inspiration for these developing artists.
Don't laugh at his jokes, though. He thinks he's a comedian.
He does think he's funny, doesn't he? Hi, Dorian.
Actually, he's written the best. If you get a chance, ask him to slip you a copy of his book. I think it's out of sale now, but it's a rugby league book called Mozart's Maulers, about when he was going to the Sydney Conservatorium of Music. And he formed a rugby league team, but they wouldn't let them play because all of the concert pianists and the virtuoso violinists, they thought they'd break their fingers, so they had to sneak out and play rugby league. And it's a very funny book. You guys would really...
we'll have to ask him about that.
I reckon you'd really dig it. But he's a very clever man. But so these guys would also bring a lot of their own musical influences. I think we're going to hear a performance. Seth Barrow, Phil Walford and Kyle Schilling are here. G'day, guys.
How's it going, brother?
This is, you're mainly dancers?
Yeah. It's mainly dancers.
But do a bit of skip hop.
A bit of skip hop singing. I think a bit of love song singing.
Yes, love song singing is very good. It really is a good way to make yourself attractive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sing love songs.
Yeah, Seth needs it. It's not just the hair, Phil.
So this song, for want of a better name, I think we're going to call it, it's got 2 titles, working titles. One is Let's Make Love Tonight, and the other one is...
Tell Me How You Feel.
Tell Me How You Feel.
I reckon the second one sounds a lot better. It's short and sweet too.
Tell Me How You Feel. This could be the next big hit. So the guys have got a guitar. They've never performed this before. They just made it up as they walked into the studio. Said, you do this bit, I'll do that bit. So let's give it a go. See what happens, will we?
Yep.
This is pure improvisation.
Improvisation at its best.
Sitting alone on a cold winter's night, and I'm searching for a cuddle and a kiss. Oh baby, let me operate your body tonight, all night long. Night long, night long. Cause when I start, I keep on going. Yeah, you got me jumping and pumping, jumping and pumping. You got me jumping and pumping, jumping and pumping. You got me jumping and pumping, jumping and pumping. You got me jumping and pumping, jumping. How do you feel? Ooh, baby. How do you feel? Ooh, baby. Let's make love tonight.
I got myself an addiction. When I close my eyes, it is you that I am picturing. My lip is quivering, I'm stuttering when I'm feeling down. You are my medicine, I'm loving every dose of you. I'd overdose on you. I'm keen on the times when us just us two. Our love is true like a hot summer's day and the sky is blue. Don't care what people say, keep on doing what we do. I got too much Love, and it's all for you.
Ooh, baby. How do you feel?
Tell me how you feel.
Ooh, baby. Let's make love tonight.
Now now that I am feeling like the greatest on the earth. I am only making love and ain't no time to reimburse. I'm making rhymes for what it's worth. My lines as a board and as a woman giving birth. You can't find it, you haven't searched for the one and only man that makes it work. Cause there ain't no time to do the dirt, ain't no time for making others hurt. Only time to stop the love and stop the blessings, stop the money making. Only time to fail, ain't no fake.
How do you feel, ooh, baby? How do you feel?
Tell me how you feel.
Ooh, baby. Let's make love tonight. Let's make love tonight. I'm sitting alone in a cold winter's night, and I'm searching for a cuddle and a kiss. So baby, let me operate your body tonight, all night long.
Night long, night long.
There's been a star that keep on going.
Keep on going. You got me jumping and pumping, jumping and pumping. You got me jumping and pumping, jumping and pumping. You got me jumping and pumping, jumping and pumping. You got me jumping and pumping, jumping.
How do you feel, ooh, baby? How do you feel, ooh, baby? Let's make love tonight. Let's make love tonight. Let's make love tonight.
Ah, brilliant, boys. Very well done. Very well done. And to do a cold finish, you know how to do a live performance. That was great. Just off the cuff, the guys came in, let's do this bit, that bit. That's a hit. Can I be your manager? I mean, I'll only take 50%.
We'll split the rest.
We'll negotiate. We'll negotiate. So, Sess, you're a Torres Strait Islander?
Yep.
Proud and lived in Townsville, which is a great,
born and bred, yeah.
great town. My old stomping ground. My wife's darling Catherine's from Townsville.
Hello, Catherine.
Yeah, she's listening in. And what about you, Phil? You're a Queenslander too, are you, mate?
No, from New South Wales.
Oh, so there'd be a divide in the house at State of Origin time, would there?
Yeah, always is.
And Kyle, you're on the cusp. On the border.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he is.
New South Wales born and bred, so...
He's got a foot in each camp. You're from the Tweed, aren't you?
Yeah, Tweed Heads. Originally from Taree and then moved up to Tweed Heads, so...
Right. And how have you been enjoying it? To you, Kyle, I mean, did you have a great interest in dance before you took on or were taken on by NAISDA? Because it's not easy to get in.
Yeah, well, before I did any serious dance like contemporary, ballet and jazz and everything, I was actually just a traditional Aboriginal dancer at home, and I started that when I was in about year 4 and took in a love for that. And then as I got older, I sort of got into a lot of poetry as well, and so I was actually really interested in music like this and hip-hop and stuff. And then
it is poetry, isn't it? I mean,
yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, it is.
All the techniques of their assonance and you know, the rhyming and the different use of words, the rhythmic nature of the words. I mean, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's great poetry.
Yeah, so I took an interest in all that, and then one of my older DAs who's now graduated, he actually went to high school with me, and he told me about NAISDA, and so I came in and gave it a go, and I was lucky enough to be accepted. And,
what were the auditions like? Because it'd be a bit nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it was, especially when I wasn't used to doing, solo things by myself. And, they were nerve-wracking, but at the same time it was good. Like, you got to meet people from all around Australia, and you just made your own little family.
Where are you from there to now? How do you think you've grown as a dancer?
Oh, well, I'd say I've grown a lot, but I hope others agree with me, but I think we all have too. Like, from where we were, like, I had no contemporary background, I had nothing but only traditional, so from there and where I am now, I think I have grown. What have you learned from the other traditional styles that you've seen? I mean, Saibai Island, all of these amazing places where they have these incredibly diverse styles that are so different to other places. I mean, that must be really exciting to discover a new Indigenous nation or region. Yeah, well, with my family, I'm recently just meeting all of them, and I found out from my grandmother that I've actually got Torres Strait in me, and I haven't grown up with that at all. And to be able to go to all these Torres Strait Islands and even like up at Elko Island and everything, like, yeah, it is a really, really good thing to learn. Like,
and it's really interesting to find out all the new ways and cultures and everything that they do around there. And especially the Torres Strait dance is it's really enjoyable. It's really upbeat and up-tempo, and it's really, really fun, and you get a really good kick out of it, so it's really good.
It's really exciting. I hope we can see some at the show. You can't get into the mid-year show because it's a sellout.
Yeah. 4
shows sold out.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
That's what we're there for.
Phil, similar story or different sort of background to Kyle?
I've always liked dance. I've been watching dance and been dancing mostly all my life, but I've never been really trained up until a few years ago. Originally, I started dancing, being trained in dance when I was about 18 in contemporary and ballet and jazz. And I've just loved it ever since then, because it's also because I'm originally from Walgett, which is up in northwest New South Wales. It's not really an option as a career, dance there, so...
It's very cool at the moment, though, isn't it? With the last 4 or 5 years, all the dance programs, all of a sudden people are really... identifying with all forms of dance, hip hop, and it's something that young people don't have to. In my day, I guess you said you're a dancer. They say, oh, but now it's wow, cool. Show us a few moves.
Yeah, it's become very popular, and it's good because we have more competition. So
yeah.
I think with more competition, you just get better. So.
Yeah. And you think you've improved at NAISDA? I mean,
yeah, I definitely have.
What about some of the techniques? Some of them are really difficult, whole of body techniques. I've seen some of the work you do there, and it's almost like a major workout, to get yourself into condition to be able to do what they're asking you to do, these choreographers.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's
painful.
And injury is a prospect, isn't it? I mean, it's a real prospect, which is, worrying, I guess, when it's your career.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's something we go through every day, like minor injuries, and you just dance through it, and that's just what we do.
No, real athletes for sure. And Sess, you come from the Torres Strait, but you lived in Townsville?
I was born and bred in Townsville, but my grandfather and them were born and bred up in the Torres Strait. So
do you have much connection with the traditional lands and
even though my grandfather and them come down to work in the railway and stuff, they still kept their culture strong. So back in Townsville, the culture is really, really strong up there.
And languages too?
And language too.
Yeah. Because we've met people through NAISDA. NAISDA's been a door to the Indigenous world for us here on the coast, because we've met people that have been in this studio who have English as a third language.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that there were people with such diverse language skills. We just don't know. NAISDA's been great like that. I think in educating us. I don't know about you guys.
NAISDA is heaps cool, because even like some students that come there, they haven't identified themselves like their culture in their
So they rediscover their culture.
Yeah, rediscover their culture. And
like Kyle in a way, really, he's really understanding a lot about
the Torres Strait culture.
Torres Strait.
I've got people like Sess too, but a lot of other brothers too that teach me every day. So
and they picked up my language too. So not just the Torres Strait language, like in the Elko Island language too. Like we've all got adopted into the families up north there, northeast Arnhem, so it's pretty cool too.
Is it a bit cold here this time of year for some of the people from the northwest or the north, in the Northern Territory? They'd be doing it a bit tough, I think.
Yeah, they do, especially the Townsville boys.
No, I'm pretty good now. 3 years is pretty good.
Yeah. And what are some of the options when you finish at NAISDA? I mean, a lot of them go on to professional companies or find a niche somewhere. There are other options, I guess, too, back in regional areas too. We've been trying to open up some of those ideas for Indigenous people, because it's about Indigenous people telling their stories, isn't it? Through dance or however it may be.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people go from NAISDA and they go and do big things, whereas other people do little things, but the little things do have a very major impact in other communities, whether it be Aboriginal communities or even non-Aboriginal and Aboriginal communities. So a lot of people do go back and teach the youth of their hometowns and stuff, and it expands their futures really in contemporary arts and and anything that they'd like to do. A lot of people from NAISDA go out and help with that, and we do small projects like that too throughout our years.
And what is it about dance? I mean, one aspect of it is discipline. You've got to be fit. You've got to be healthy. That's something that you'll probably keep with you for the rest of your lives, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's difficult, but once you get into the whole routine, it's really easy to keep on top of. But yeah, that is definitely a big thing for us.
But you've got to work at it day to day, haven't you? You've got to, stay fit, and I think that's a really great part of it. Look, thanks so much for coming in. It's good news that your mid-year shows are sellouts up at NAISDA, but keep an eye open because they've got shows coming up at the Carriage Works in Sydney, Jasmine.
Yeah, that's right. We'll be presenting our end-of-year performance in Carriage Works in Sydney this year, from the 12th of December through to the 14th. So keep an eye out for that. It'll be advertised on our website, and might come in and talk to you again, Scott, maybe when it gets closer to December.
And the end-of-year show at Laycock Street.
No end-of-year show at Laycock. It's all at Carriage Works.
Oh, it's all in Sydney this year, right? Oh, well, it's fair enough. We can't have you forever.
No, we've got to share ourselves around. Yeah. We're trying to expand and get create a larger audience for ourselves as well. That'll
go off. Yeah. No, you'll be knocking them back a little, but the local people get to see you up at your new performance area.
Yeah, look. For the mid-year show, I'll just our seating capacity is 200 every night, so we've got 800 odd people seeing us next week for the mid-year show. So
that's great. And if you missed out this time, bad luck. Get them next time.
Yeah. Respond a little bit quicker, guys, when we send out the email.
That's right. Jasmine,
okay,
thanks so much for coming in. The artistic coordinator at NAISDA. Thanks to Seth Sparrow, Phil Walford, and Kyle Schilling.
Thank you,
awesome
Scott.
stuff, guys. I'll be watching your careers with interest.
Cheers. Yes, definitely, and your career.
Don't emulate mine, mate. It's been on the slippery slide for a long time. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
Gee, there, tell